Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Rachel and welcome to my channel. Happy February 2022. If this is your first time checking out my videos, I am a part-time reseller on sites like eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari. And I love to share my reseller life here on this channel. So one of the things I like to do is show you guys my top sales from the month prior. Usually I do a top 10, but actually January of 2022 was really good for me. And I had a lot of really good high dollar sales. So I'm actually top 15 today for January. To my subscribers that have been watching my videos, welcome back. It's lovely to have you guys. If you're new here, certainly consider subscribing. I do post reseller content like 3 to 4 times a week-ish, depending on what I have to talk to you guys about. And I love sharing my top sales every single month. So I will post on the side here a screenshot of what sold. I'll talk about how much I paid for it and how much it sold for, what platform it sold on, how long I had it, so that you can get a good idea of the type of things that I look for that I'm picking up that are selling for me. And hopefully it helps give you an idea of some things you should be looking out for if you are outsourcing and looking for items to resell. So starting, I'll go from number 15 up to number 1. Number 15 was this Johnny Was sheer lacy tunic. I actually picked this up at my local Uptown Cheapskate. I paid up for it, which I am going to make a video about the Uptown Cheapskate items that I paid up for. This is one of them. I had this listed only one day and I bought it for $12.79 and it sold on Mercari for $61. So that was pretty fantastic. I am also going to make a video too about quick flips, items that sold within 24 to 48 hours of me listing them. I am going to start that for January, so stay tuned. That'll probably be next week that I post that, so stay tuned for that one as well. Number 14 are these booties from Vince Camuto, and I really don't pick up Vince Camuto too often, but these were new. I mean, they had clearly never been worn, and I really, really loved the style. I paid $6.99 for them at Goodwill, and they were listed about a week. They sold on eBay for $45. Number 13 was this Smocked linen dress from a brand that had been on my bucket list for some time, and I finally found it. The brand was The Great, and did not disappoint. I paid $6.99 for this at Goodwill, and it sold within 3 days on Poshmark for $60. I did sell that on an offer, so I feel like I might have been able to hold out and get a little more for it, but I am happy to turn $6.99 into a $60 sale. Number 12 are these Skechers, these men's Skechers extra wide shoes, and these actually came in a Jomar box. My cost of goods out of that box was $5.39 per item, but these actually sold on eBay for $48. They were listed about 5 weeks. So considering though that they are more of like a springtime, they're like a lightweight slip-on, I'm not mad about it. $48 for those shoes at $5.39 cost of goods. Hey, that's great for me. Number 11, and if you follow me on Instagram, you heard me talk about this brand already. The brand is Talbots, and they were these little, I don't know, what kind of dog is this? Dachshund flats or loafers. And again, Talbots is one of those brands that I hear a lot of people say they just don't pick up. But I don't know what kind of hunch I had that day. Like, I looked at these and they were in great condition. They were barely worn. And they were just adorable, like the little dog that stretches across both pair. And something told me, you need to look these up. And when I looked them up, they were selling for, I don't know, $40, $50. So I decided to bring them home and give them a try, even though they were Talbots, right? I paid $5.99 for them though, and they sold in 3 days. My outright asking price on Poshmark of $60. So I'm not mad about that, but it just goes to show Talbots, and there's other mall brands. If you can get the right piece that's current and in good condition, the resale value is there even on mall brands, guys. So that just goes to show, make sure if you get a hunch that it looks good, look it up, because it might actually be worth picking up even though it's a mall brand. Next up, number 10. This one, as soon as I saw it, I knew it was going to be a great sale. This was a puffer jacket. I believe it was down-filled. The brand was Mammoth, which is a very functional outdoor brand. They sell like ski gear, cold weather gear. And this coat was in great condition. So $6.99 for that. It sold after only one day for $60 on Mercari. And actually, the reason I want to make that quick flips video is because I want you guys to tell me whether you think I underpriced or not. Because really, the reason for something selling within a day is either it's a really hot item or you priced it way too low, right? Or I guess you could just get really lucky. But usually it's one of the first two. So stick around for that video. This was definitely one of those, like it sold fast. And it makes me wonder, if I had held out, would I maybe have made a little more on that? I don't know. I guess I'll never know. Number 9 were these ombre leggings from Beyond Yoga. And I would say, guys, Beyond Yoga, pretty much anytime I find it, it sells quickly and it sells pretty high. So if you find Beyond Yoga, definitely look it up. I only paid $3.99 for these at Goodwill, and they sold. It took about 3 weeks on these, but I think I listed them at $75. Somebody sent me a $67 offer, and I absolutely accepted. Number 8 was this Tory Burch silk dress, and I don't know. It's one of those like items where you know it's been sitting there for a couple days because the Goodwill tag has a date on it, and you're just like, how? How is this even still sitting here? How has this been on this rack for probably like a week and nobody's bought it? So I was excited to find this. It was like a random Saturday. It was super busy in the store, and this was just like randomly in the store. I hear people say, and the argument is like, save some good stuff for the people that need good stuff. And honestly, like there's so much good stuff to go around. This dress, I paid $6.99 for at Goodwill. It sold for $55 and it sold on eBay after only 3 days. The buyer was an international sale. So if you don't have your global shipping on for eBay, guys, do it. It's super easy, and you ship it to like Kentucky and then they take care of the rest. This was an international sale, and although I kind of felt like I could have got a little bit more for this, I noticed that the buyer had kind of just made her offer based on how much it was going to cost her to ship it internationally. And so because of that, I, kind of met her halfway on it, because she did actually pay up quite a bit to have it shipped to her. I think she was in Canada somewhere. So anyway, that was a $55 sale for me, $6.99 cost of goods. And then number 7, and this brand is going to be a theme for the rest of the countdown here. This St. John cardigan, my first thrift trip of 2022, I walked into a Goodwill and grabbed 5 St. John Santana knit suit jackets off the new rack, and it made my whole month. It's what made this month amazing for me, really, hands down. So this was the one that actually sold for the least. It's number 7 on the countdown, but I paid $6.99 for it, and this one actually sat the longest. It sat for 23 days. I eventually sold it on Mercari for $60. I received a lot of lowball offers on this, but eventually somebody offered me $60, so I went ahead and took it. So $6.99 into $60, not too bad, and it didn't even sit a month. Number 6 on the countdown is also St. John. This was a St. John sport. This one sold after 11 days on Mercari for $78. Same deal. I paid $6.99 for this. They were all the same like size and probably were owned by the same person. Then number 5 on the list, which actually, quite frankly, this sale is amazing. And I mean, I'm surprised this isn't my number 1 sale, but I'm actually really proud of the fact that I actually had sales higher than this. I was so excited about this find. This was a Patagonia Sinchilla Aztec print pullover. It was a men's size medium, and I mean, it was new without tags. It was brand new, never been worn, didn't have tags on it, but I picked this up at Uptown Cheapskate for $29.99. Obviously, they did not know what they had. I sold this in one day, for $125 on Poshmark. And in the one day that it was listed, I must have gotten a dozen lowball offers. I had one person arguing with me basically like trying to get me to sell it to him for 40 bucks, saying that, you know, 40 bucks was the going rate. But know the worth of your items, guys. These Sinchilla pullovers, especially certain patterns, will sell for above retail, even if they're used or they don't have tags. So I think Uptown Cheapskate didn't know what they had, and I did, and it worked out well for me. Again, if I would have waited more than a day, could I have, I think I listed it at $150. Would I have gotten that? Probably, but you know what? I'll take $125 on a one-day sale all day long. Then next up, number 4. And these, my list, I think I forgot to mention this in the beginning. My list goes by how profitable the item was. So because I paid up for that at $29.99, even though I sold it for $125, it's still only number 5 on my list because the next 4 items, there was a bigger profit margin, even though the actual amount that I sold it for is a little less. So just so y'all know. Next up, number 4 was this, and actually this was a super cool piece. This was the St. John. The tag was super vintage. It had to have been from like the 70s. It said St. John for Neiman Marcus, and it had these like, this like checkered pattern with these neon little strips, which actually, the neon strips were like falling off. It was missing a bunch of them. But I actually sold this one for $84.99 on eBay, and I paid $6.99. I got it in that same haul, that first thrift haul of the year. And this one actually was also an international sale. This one went over to Great Britain, I believe. So the buyer all in was about $120 with shipping on that one. Number 3, I think, was the most fun find of the month. And again, I think I posted these on my Instagram as well. These Gerbode jeans. So these are vintage men's, Gerbode is the brand, denim, and they've got to be from like the 90s. And I knew as soon as I saw them, I had to take them home because they're so unique and on trend, and this particular brand is very sought after right now. So I paid $7.99, which is my Goodwill's blanket price for all jeans. And about 95% of denim that I encounter, I am not willing to pay $7.99 for, but I absolutely grabbed these in a heartbeat because I knew what I had, and these sold in one day. So again, another one-day listing, $89 they sold for. I paid $7.99, so that was a fantastic flip. Those also went overseas. Guys, if you don't have your eBay global shipping on, I'll say it again, turn it on. All you have to do is ship like normal. The buyer pays the cost of international shipping. It goes to Kentucky. Well, mine goes to Kentucky. Yours might go somewhere else. But it goes somewhere like in the United States, and then they take care of it from there. So turn on your international shipping. If you don't have it on your eBay, you're probably missing out on some really good sales. All right, number 2 and number 1. Okay, they're both St. John, and they both actually sold on Facebook Marketplace. So here's the green one, came out of that same haul, $6.99. This one sold for $126.65, an odd number because at the time I listed them, I had some kind of like 10% off deal on my entire Facebook listings. So $126.65. Again, I wonder, could I have gotten more for it? Don't really care. I paid $7 for it. It sold for $126. It was listed a day. I can't complain. And Facebook does not take any fees. So right now, I think between now and like June of 2022, they're waiving all of their seller fees. So I didn't have to pay 10 or 20% or whatever to any platform. I just like sold it. So I'll take it. And then number 1, same deal. And I actually do think this one, I probably could have gotten more for, just by the sheer amount of interest, like as soon as I listed it. It was a St. John evening, long, kind of like a split suit jacket. It had really pretty embellishments on the collar and on the sleeves. But I only paid $6.99 and it sold for $135.15. I think I listed it for $150 and then I had that 10% going on. I probably should have listed that one higher, but again, kind of don't care. I only paid $6.99 for it. So that's my entire top 15 this month. Like I said, I was super impressed with January. January is historically not a super good month for sales for me or for most resellers, but it's exciting to be able to report to you guys consistent sales and good sales even in such a slow month. So yeah, I guess the challenge is now, can I beat this in February? Can I have a better sales month in February, even though January was so good? And I set the bar high for myself, but I'm not complaining because sometimes that's what you got to do to push yourself to make it happen. So I'm interested to know what was your, if you're still here, what was your biggest, highest profit sale for January of 2022? Please tell me in the comments. And again, make sure you are subscribed to my channel. I have a lot of really cool content coming up, and I do post videos like 4 to 5 times a week, give or take. So make sure you're subscribed, and I would love to see you again in a future video. That's it for now, though. I will catch you guys in the next one.